Welcome into the College Football Show. Tanner Kern joined alongside Brock Boynton as usual. Special guest this week. We got Davey Covers on the show. David, how you doing, man? Welcome in.
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's going good. Let's get after it. I'm excited to talk some sports today.
Yeah, we're talking college football today. Huge weekend on the slate here. We got some big games. Brock, your Alabama Crimson Tide are on upset alert, I would say, this week. We got Texas OU, just a big weekend. A lot of college football. Brock, how you doing today, man?
Fuck, Tanner. It's week what? 7 now?
7.
I know out in Colorado it's getting cold, but over here in the Midwest, it's starting to feel it. We are in the bliss of just fall athletics. NBA's going. We got postseason baseball. Football is just cooking, man. It's cooking.
Yeah. But actually, before we even talk about college football, I want to talk about the baseball game last night, just a general theme amongst athletes. When athletes mess up, we saw it last night. Orion Kirkering, right? Throwing the ball away. I saw a lot of comments online that kind of bothered me. People were saying, like, yo, pick him up. We got to support him here. We got to support him. Maybe that's the right thing to do. But in my head, these guys are paid to play sports. Like, I don't think they should be picked up necessarily. Like, own it, move on. We don't have to trash them for it. But the fact of the matter is, be better at your job. I don't know if you guys agree with that take, but I was having that conversation with a buddy today. Brock, we can start with you.
Having a baseball background, pitchers have 2 jobs: throw strikes and field your PFP. You practice it. Not to mention you're getting paid millions of dollars to field a ground ball to you. One, why are we not going to first with it?
Yeah.
And then, so that just tells me the moment's just too big. And that's what it is. The moment was too big. They obviously didn't practice it enough for him to know the decision to make with that baseball. Like, it's pretty sad if you ask me.
Yeah. What about you, Davey?
Yeah, I think that's the scary part. Is the moment's too big for a major league pitcher. You got to know exactly where you're going with that ball. 2 outs, bases juiced. Where are you going with that ball? If it's hit you, you get the out at first. You don't force it at home. You don't rush. That's where panic mode kicked in, and he threw it home. And it was, the catcher wasn't even ready. He was pointing at first base the entire time. You got to make the play there.
Yeah, even if the moment's too big for him, you should just know in that spot, like, hey, I'm going to first. I would rather have you make the right decision, go to first, and then spike the ball to first base. Like, at least you made the right decision. Now you made the wrong decision. You had a bad throw. And even if he puts it on the money, still safe at home. That's
right. He beat the ball 100%. And he's running on contact. The guy's going to be to home plate a lot faster than that batter's getting to first.
Yeah, definitely. So speaking of the moment being too big, Arch Manning, the moment has seemed to be too big for him this season. The Athletic came out with an article this week talking about how he's college football's first flop, which is crazy. There's been plenty of flops in college football. But I have a problem with this now. The media built this kid up into a Heisman Trophy winner, first-round pick. And, he probably can still be that in the coming seasons in college, I think. But this year, obviously not. And now they call him a flop. So, David, what's your take on this? Media bringing up Arch Manning, tearing him down after just 5 starts in college.
I think it's going to be all on his bounce back. How does he take it, right? I think there's been so many flops in college football. And if you look at his recruiting class, every quarterback in that recruiting class is a flop. It's pretty crazy to look at. Like I guess I shouldn't say every quarterback, right? But the top 5 in that recruiting class is like, what the heck's going on? This whole every scout there was just struggling to find a good quarterback, I guess. But I think it's going to be all on Arch Manning's bounce back. How's he going to take it? Is the moment going to continue to be too big for him, or is he going to play a good Oklahoma team this week and show the Athletic who's really the flop, the article or him?
Yeah, and I wonder how much these kids take. Arch Manning's dealt with a lot of pressure. Obviously, he sees it all online and social. So Brock, put yourself in Arch Manning's shoes this weekend. Your season isn't over if you're Texas. It's probably not going to be ending a college football playoff run. You never know. If they win out, it will. But as a former athlete and yourself, playing college baseball, how would you put yourself in these shoes as an Arch Manning guy this weekend? Knowing that you got the weight of the world on your shoulders and you just lost to Florida and the season's in kind of heading down the toilet a little bit.
No, I'm sure he's reached out to Uncle and Pops. Try to get those guys' input on it. But he just got to keep doing his thing. We got to think. This is his first year starting. You don't have a golden for your wide receiver group. You have no realistically has no weapons around him. So the fact that we continue, I mean, it's easy to go after him because his last name's Manning. I mean, you got to put those horse blinders on and just keep seeing the future because they have they could upset Texas A&M at the end of the year and ruin their playoffs. There's still a lot going that Texas has, and you can't just let this past weekend ruin and then define your career. Like, strap back up. You got a big one this weekend, and now go show and prove why you were the number one quarterback in that class, in the recruiting class, and why you are Arch Manning. Like, I mean, I think it's the best case scenario because his back. Maybe it's his first time actually having his back against the wall, and you got to start throwing those haymakers. So it's time to go.
Yeah, I mean, you see the competition he played against in high school. It makes sense. He's struggling a little bit in the
Right.
SEC.
I mean, but like, let's look at where he went to high school. You know, like, I mean, didn't they just get done building like a $50 million football stadium?
I'm sure they did. It wouldn't surprise me. I'm sure they did. I don't know. I don't have that stat in front of me, but it would make sense knowing a Manning ain't going to a cheap school, you know?
Yeah, right.
So I mean, I just don't think the moment's too big. I don't think everything that it's media being media. They have to have something to talk about, and he's real easy to talk about.
Yeah, definitely.
I think a big thing that scares me with him too is he even admitted before the season started that he's a scroller. He likes to sit down and scroll on media for hours every day, and it's like, hey man, when you got the Manning last name, you probably shouldn't look at the media much. You should probably avoid getting on it.
I mean, look at what Chris did. I mean, he shut all of his social media off after what we saw on Thursday night in that last final play. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw, but he deactivated his Instagram and Twitter after all the tags and memes that he was getting posted on.
Wow.
So
I
get why these athletes have social media because now it's part of the business, like your ads and everything. But how I mean, hire someone just to run that. I wouldn't even be touching that shit.
Yeah. No, you should be locked in on football.
You're right.
Lock in on your season. And Texas's season is on the line here Saturday. Realistically, they are now a 1.5 underdog. It looks like John Mateer is going to be in the starting lineup for Oklahoma here. Feels like a little bit of a trap line. Oklahoma opened up as an underdog. They took a lot of bets. Texas does not look like a team that can beat Oklahoma. But my fear with OU right now is just the fact that they have not played anybody. You beat Illinois State. You beat Michigan, which, don't get me wrong, it's a big win at home, 24-13. Then you go at Temple. That's your only road game so far this season is at Temple. You beat Auburn. I don't think much of Auburn's 22nd ranked team in the nation last week. And then you beat Kent State 44-0. So this is a spot where I've lost a lot on Texas this year. I've had futures on Texas. Everything all my Texas bets have lost. But I am going to be back on Texas, and I will be betting this game, and I'll be taking the Longhorns on the money line. What about you guys?
Go ahead.
I think I'm right there on the same page as you. I think it's in Texas. It's a big game, and I think that Texas is the play here. You got to imagine that Mateer returns, plays a good game, but Arch, his back is against the wall. We know what the Mannings can do when their back's against the wall. So I think it's his time to shine, and I think he's going to make it happen this week.
See, and my favorite play of this game is Texas under 21.5 points. I just think that it's going to be low scoring. I think it's going to be a gritty football game. I think both defenses are going to show up, but again, Texas at home.
Yeah. No, I agree. And the county fair game's always fun.
I mean, I see it being like a 17-14. You're at the state fair. I mean, it's going to be rocking, man. I mean,
that stadium's going to be through the roof. I mean, and it's a Sooners game too. You know, Longhorn Sooners, just that beef. Oh God, that stadium's going to be blowing up.
Yeah, and right now, if you're Texas, it's kind of like backs against the wall, everyone against us. Like you go out, you win this game. Their season it's not over. You know, like their quest for the college football playoff is definitely not over. They can make the SEC championship game. They just have to.
They have a gauntlet. I mean,
you got to beat Oklahoma, which is very doable. You can beat Kentucky. You can beat Mississippi State. I believe you can beat Vanderbilt. The game at Georgia is going to be very, very hard.
It's going to be a wild game there too.
Yeah, and then if you lose Texas A&M, even 9-3 could hypothetically get you in. It probably doesn't. But yeah, you never know. So they need to win. Me and Davey are on Texas, and then Brock, you're taking the under on their points. You still think they can find a way to win?
Like I said, I still think they win like 17-14. It's just I don't see it being a high scoring game for both teams.
No, I totally agree with that. So let's talk about the Alabama Crimson Tide. Brock, we'll start with you since this is your team here. Alabama 3.5-point favorite on the road against Mizzou. The Vanderbilt game looked dicey at times last week. They found a way to get it done and cover late. How do you see this one playing out?
Last week I said to buy the points up. I'm going to tell you again to buy the points up. I mean, buy it up to 6.5 because Bama's never lost to Mizzou. I mean, their turnover right now, the margin, they're 9+ turnovers to their 1 turnover they've had on offense. You got Jam Meller back, fully healthy. We finally see the run game getting a little bit. But, I mean, if the defense steps up, the best thing about it, it's a noon game. It's not a night game. And I think it'd be a little differently if it was a night game. No, it's I think it's going to be a bloodbath. We got to remember where Mizzou's quarterback came from. Penn State. And who recruited Penn State? James Franklin. And you know my feelings on James Franklin. I think think of a monkey hitting the drums right here. That's what's going on in James Franklin's brain. Like that. Like I don't have zero faith in anything that comes from James Franklin, and I don't believe in Mizzou whatsoever.
I think this kid's better. I think this kid's better than Drew Aller.
Okay.
For Franklin's recruit.
Yeah.
So I'll say that.
Absolutely.
So this goes back to, and I was having this conversation on a different podcast this morning with my buddy, and we were talking about, like last night, Eagles Giants, right? Mm-hmm. You got to get these stereotypes out of your head saying that, like, okay, the Eagles are just going to win the game because they're the Eagles. They might not cover, but they'll find a way to win. Same thing with like the Chiefs this year. That's a team that, they might not beat the Lions on Sunday night because they're just not the Chiefs that we've seen in years past.
Right.
This is a situation where I say Alabama used to go on the road and handle their business because they were Alabama. Mm-hmm. That vision is still slowly fading from my head because we've seen what Kalen DeBoer does in these road games against unranked teams. He's worse. The team usually tends to get up for the big games. They don't get up for the games that they should win. So, Davey, does that impact you at all? Does this new version of Alabama worry you, or are you thinking that they're just going to go in and dominate Mizzou as we've seen in years past?
Like Brock said, they do own Mizzou. Alabama does not lose to Missouri. But I do think this game might be the change of pace. I think that Missouri's running back, Ahmad, can't think of the last name here, absolute stud. And I think that's the scary part is Alabama's defense has played pretty solid, last 2 weeks now. They played great game against Georgia, but I think that running back might put some pressure on Alabama. I don't think I'll take Mizzou money line, but I would take that 3.5 points. I think 3.5 is a good line there.
Yeah, I mean, I would probably be. I don't know what the better way to go is: take Alabama money line or buy points up with Mizzou. You're going to get the price no matter
something
what.
To think about as well is Alabama's defense has only allowed 7 points in the past 2 games in the second half.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, they played a great game versus Vandy. That's the big thing. That last second cover hurt me. I thought Vandy up to 14 felt great. I was like, this game's over. Cash my ticket. Let's go. Oh my, what a backdoor, huh?
Yeah. I mean, but like, granted, like that's at home, but that goes to show me that you can make halftime adjustments for both games. I mean, you can make those halftime adjustments. So maybe it's something that you see Mizzou keeping it close the first half, and then the second half, Bama pulls away. I just, like I said, I think they'll cover the 3.5 with I got it earlier in this week at 3, but I think they cover that beyond that. So.
I do too.
It's hard to bet that, Alabama just owns Mizzou. How do you not stick with the Tide there?
Yeah, it's really hard. It's really hard.
I mean, you call me homer, you call me whatever, but I mean, I see the future. I mean, I've been real with Tanner all year with this Bama team, but now you're starting to kind of see it switch a little bit. And I want to see how Ty Simpson comes out this week on the road with all the hype that he's had right in the past few weeks. I mean, everyone's dick riding him like he is Arch Manning. Yeah. And so let's see what you can do on the road.
I think that goes back to the Arch Manning story too. Back against the wall. How did Kalen respond when his back was against the wall? I mean, they've looked good. They've came out after that. They responded after that FSU loss, and I mean, they beat Georgia. That's a big win.
Yeah. It's a game where I think Alabama wins it. I think it's going to be tight at times. They might blow them out late. But again, we're talking about Vanderbilt too. And don't get me wrong, Vanderbilt's a really good football team, but we're talking about Vanderbilt like they should be playing with Alabama. Alabama should have covered against Vanderbilt because
Right.
they're Alabama. You know, like that's my biggest issue now. It's like these wins that they're getting. Again, Vanderbilt is a very good football team, but they should never be beating Alabama on the road. They shouldn't have been in the game like they were in the game last week.
Absolutely.
So that's my fear there with Vanderbilt or with Alabama just in general. I think they'll win the game. I don't know if they cover the 4. They win by 4. So, but Indiana, Oregon, this is one game I want to look at real quick here. Oregon 7.5-point favorite at home against Indiana. Obviously, Oregon beat Penn State, and that doesn't seem like that big of a win now after UCLA beat Penn State. So, Oregon's a 7.5-point favorite going against Indiana. Coach Sig. Brock, is the 7.5 points tempting for you with Indiana? You think they can keep this close or no?
No.
Okay.
No. You're telling me you're gonna get that cokehead at home on a night game, dude? Oregon's head coach. I mean, do we not see
3:30 start?
Oh, yeah, sorry, 3:30. But I mean, dude, do we not see him after that Penn State win? I mean, holy cow. I mean, he's going to be juiced up. But also at the same time, Sig's going to bring that. I still think Indiana's a James Madison all-star team that hit the transfer portal and I mean, upgraded that defense a little bit. But, I mean, we've seen the trends of these teams doing the cross-country mapping of travel, and it hasn't gone well for the person that's traveling. And when you have an Ohio State member from last year's team say that this was the loudest stadium he's ever been in, I don't think you can prepare for that with guys that haven't been in that situation before.
Yeah. What do you think, Brock or Davey?
Yeah, I agree. I think that Oregon, I understand that after Penn State loses to UCLA, the win doesn't look nearly as big. You got to imagine how pumped that crowd was for the whiteout game. That crowd had so much juice, and I think that's why it went down to the wire. I think Dante Moore comes out firing, and Oregon's going to beat the heck out of Indiana. I don't see it going good for Indiana, that's for sure.
Now, do you guys think Oregon's a national championship winning team? Do you think they have it this year? Because I personally felt better about I know they're playing better. A lot of people think they're better this year. I felt better about them last year when it came to winning a national championship, but this year I feel like it's a little more wide open. So would you guys be interested in taking Oregon to win the national title right now? No.
Lanning's a hell of a coach. If you can get somebody that you would run through a wall for, which I guarantee if I'm in that locker room, I'm willing to run right through a wall for that guy. I can only imagine the locker room speeches. I think if the time comes, I mean, Ohio State's the favorite right now. I think Oregon could beat. I think they could beat Ohio State, but it's an open game, like you said. I don't have a super good read. There's a lot of sleeper picks this year, but I think Oregon has a good chance with that coach.
And in my opinion, it's so hard to even place that bet right now because how they have this playoff like format. I mean, you're obviously your number one seed's probably going to be your like national favorite, but like they have a bye. But then, I mean, it's such an unknown. Like it's like I was explaining it yesterday. I was like, you just have to get to the playoffs. If you for college football, if you get to the playoffs, I mean, it's like baseball again. Like just get there because if you get there, you don't know what the hell is going to happen. I mean, we kind of saw it with it last year, but this is the second year now that we've had NIL in college football, and we've seen it kind of even out a little bit throughout your top tier teams. Obviously, there's still that big drop off that we saw last year's playoffs, but I think this year's playoffs is going to be a hell lot better, and I think you're going to see a lot more closer games.
Yeah, I agree with that too. And just looking at the national championship odds real quick, there's not one team that jumps off the board for me. You know, Ohio State's good. I don't think they're as good as last year. Oregon's good. I don't think they're as good as last year. Then you have Alabama at 7-1, who a lot of people wrote off, obviously, after the Florida State loss. Miami at 8-1, Georgia at 9-1, OU 18-1, Texas 18-1 right now, Ole Miss 20-1. Like, I don't see a team that I'm like, that's your national champion. Where once Ohio State got going last year, it was clear like that is your national champion.
And I just don't think you can say that with that Ohio State team right now. Is because their offense, it's not even there.
Yeah, doesn't look good. They're not the same team, that's for sure.
Definitely. So the way we usually, David, the way we usually end the show, we cook up a little parlay together for the people.
Okay.
Numbers have been great, Brock. Our numbers have been great. We're losing by a couple legs.
But couple legs, maybe once. Squirrel's got to find a nut once in a while, right?
Yeah, ain't that right?
Let's do it.
How many legs do you guys typically do?
We do whatever we're feeling, really. So, it's been like 4 or 5. Like we could go 3. Yeah. Good with that. Whatever we're feeling. But let's start. We usually do the big games, which could also be our issue here.
we don't find the sneakies.
No,
go right at it.
I don't want to watch the sneaky. Like, I'm sorry, I don't want to turn on ESPN Plus to watch college football. Like, I'm not ready to watch like this game, and I want to watch. I want to bet and win on the big games. That's. I don't know about you guys, but that's my approach. Yeah, that's probably a bad approach to have. But
speaking, just to get off subject real quick. Speaking of like ESPN Plus, being here in Indiana right now, everyone is up in their panties about Notre Dame. The only way to watch them this weekend on Peacock.
Oh,
who they got a big game.
North Carolina State.
Okay.
So all these people are so used to seeing it on the local channel because it's Notre Dame. Nope, not this week. I just say to that, have a better schedule, man. I mean,
they're gonna get in though. They'll get already.
I took them. I took them the other day. They're minus 110 to get in the college football playoffs.
Really?
Are they still? Is that the line?
I got it earlier this week on FanDuel.
Yeah, it's 110 to get in. That's crazy. Well, you got to think.
Wow, they still are. Wow.
There's been so much carnage this year, like with getting in, and like if you look at the standings right now, the rankings. So, all right. So you got AP. So you got Ohio State's going to get in. Miami's in. Oregon's in. The SEC is the confusing part because like Ole Miss, A&M, Oklahoma, Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Tennessee, right? You're not getting 7 SEC teams in there.
No.
So I think you got it. Notre Dame's got to get in.
And then did they do the same format as last year with like if you won your conference, that's what set the seat, like the 1, 2, 3, 4?
No, so it's the top 4. It's the highest 4 ranking teams this year.
Okay.
So
okay.
They got rid, which is good. They need
yes.
But I mean Notre Dame too, like you lost by 3 points to Miami, who's going to be a top 5 team. You lost by 1 point to Texas A&M in a game that you should have won, who's going to be a top 5, top 10 team. So, like, I don't see a world where you can't put them in at this point. Like,
if Texas A&M loses to Texas at the end of the year,
Texas A&M, that bumps Texas in and probably bumps Notre Dame out potentially. 10-2 Texas gets in over 10-2 Notre Dame in a minute. Texas ain't going 10-2 though. That's the problem.
Yeah, that schedule's too tough. I don't know.
Yeah,
it isn't looking good for them. And I mean, with that beating Notre Dame just put on Arkansas, you got to imagine that team's at an all-time high. I mean, they're just rolling.
But that goes back to like what Indiana did last year, just beating the dog shit out of dog shit teams just to make their resume. I mean, they have to make their resume look good.
Yeah.
So like, last week I took them cover. This week I'm going to take them to cover just because it's something they have to do to build that resume. Because right now they're still in the bubble. So I mean, when this committee gets together, they're going to look at the schedules and see what they did against these teams.
Yeah, definitely. And again, the public wants, or the media wants Notre Dame in, which I don't get. I'd rather have the SEC in Notre Dame. That's me, but we'll see. So
the SEC is a good man. It's a good conference. Incredible conference.
It's incredible this year. So let's do our parlay here. We got to get something in that Alabama game in here. I don't know. Do we all? We're on to kind of different sides. I mean, we like
what's the over set at? What's the over set at?
I was going to say the over under is 51.5. Last I looked, it might be up to 52. I know some books are jumping back and forth.
I like that.
The over?
Uh-huh.
All right, over 51.5 in Alabama, Missouri. All right, now we each go around. Let's make a pick. So I'll start. I'm going to do the cop-out one. I'm going to take Texas to win. Texas money line. Feed me the Longhorns. That backs against the wall. Sark gets it done this week. Brock, you're up.
See, can we add Georgia money line in that? Did that line drop?
Let me see. That's
Last week we did different money lines and we got
168. That's plus 486 right there already. 51.5 Texas and Georgia.
You guys think Georgia wins?
I don't see a world where they don't. I don't. Again, like Georgia or Alabama is going to win. One of those teams is definitely winning. I don't know if both are winning, but one's winning.
Yeah, well, I agree. I just don't see Jackson Arnold being able to hold on against Georgia.
No.
I think that's Georgia's game to win.
Okay. Then give me that. And if you need something else, I would take Ole Miss to cover their spread this weekend. It's pretty fat.
Yeah, I think it was 30 or 31.5, one of the two. Yeah. Buy it down a point, get the 30, that's not a bad line.
31.5.
It is 31.
So putting that in there. All right. So then Davey, give me a pick.
I'm going to get reckless here, but I like this a lot. I think USC takes out Michigan at home.
I like that.
This week. I think USC, that's my favorite bet of the weekend. I think their offense is going to be too fast for that Michigan defense, and I think Michigan's going to be fighting in the trenches while USC's on the outside just dominating at home.
I like it. I have my fears with that one a little bit just because of how that Illinois game went.
Yeah.
Because Illinois beat them up physically, and I know Michigan's going to be able to do that too. But they can score more, I think, than Michigan can. So I will give them that. I don't know, Brock, you got to lean on that one. We're putting
Michigan's past 11 travels to the Mountain Time / Pacific Time. They are 1-10.
I like that.
And I get they're practicing at what do they call it? Michigan West. I think that's what they call the Charger Stadium. They practiced there yesterday. They call it Michigan West. So
I like it.
you better show up if you call that Michigan West and having a record of 1-10 on that side of the country. So
yeah, Harbaugh's opening the door for them. They've probably been out there since Tuesday.
They left practice. Well, they left classes Thursday. They had practice there today. Okay. And so they'll be ready to go tomorrow. But yeah, I like USC at home. Lincoln Riley
at home.
Yeah,
that offense. I think the offense is too fast. I don't think Bryce Underwood has it yet. I think he can be a good quarterback, but
see, and I'm rooting for USC because I want them to get going. So when they come here to town, it's going to be pretty interesting.
That's a game that Notre Dame could lose too. That's the one that you say, hey, you never know. But all right, so we got over 51.5 Alabama, Mizzou, Texas money line, Georgia money line, Ole Miss minus 31.5, and USC. That's the parlay this week, 18-31. So we might be. I don't know if we'll win, but we'll give it hell.
Hey, our back's against the wall too, man. We ain't running.
Time to win.
That's right.
Time to break that pace. Let's go.
Yeah,
back up against the wall, we're winning. Everybody with their back up against the wall this week is winning.
We need one this week. So we got a five-legger there, guys. So make sure you guys subscribe to the show, WSN.com, the YouTube channel, all that good stuff. We appreciate Brock and Davey joining the show today. We'll be back next week, another episode here of the College Football Show. And good luck with your bets, guys. Let's have a weekend.
Cheers. Thanks for having me in, boys.